Hey guys, Chef Jacobson here, and I'm excited because I'm making buttermilk fried chicken for me and my wife tonight. This has been marinating overnight for the last 24 hours, so I'm super excited. And as you notice, I'm actually talking to you guys. I'm letting you guys see the person behind the videos. This is a new channel, and I appreciate the followers who've been supporting me and everything I'm doing. So yeah, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below of some of the family meals you want to see. As you see, really cool mic, and we're making this happen. So let's get to cooking. See ya. So as you see, we're gonna start off with 2 pots. One that is gonna be our Dutch oven. We're gonna do our water at a simmer boil, so more of a medium. And then our oil is gonna be on probably 8 out of 10 or medium high heat to get it to temp. I'm gonna use a thermometer to get that going, but yeah, let's get to going. So the first thing we're gonna do is let's prep some of our vegetables. For tonight, we're gonna be using asparagus and spinach. You know, we're gonna use all the stalks. Most of the time people have them picked and they're already right here. So we're gonna use the stalks because it adds more flavor. We're gonna go through, see if there's any dirt. If so, we're gonna rinse it off. So let's get going. So I'm gonna rinse these off, cold water, any extra dirt. I'm excited, and this has a little bit of root still left, so I might actually try to replant these and see if I can get more spinach out of these because, you know, why not waste? So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the woody part of our asparagus, usually the first like inch. We're gonna throw this in a little compost bin. So boom, about 3/4 of an inch. So one of the big things about getting into this YouTube thing is it's so many things you don't think about until you have to do it. And one of the things is like making sure things are being recorded. So if you see me pause for some of these videos, it's me usually making sure that it's recording. So for some of you guys wondering where am I at, I am currently located in Vancouver, Washington. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to do a quick rough chop. These are big leaves, but we're going to keep them pretty big because they wilt down a lot. But I'm just trying to make, again, little nice bite-sized pieces. And we'll keep this to the side. So this is my little garden. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little root, put it in there, and I'm going to put this little root, put it in there, and let my spinach hopefully regrow. Cross your fingers, y'all. This is going to be delicious. Oh, my beautiful garden. It's my first time doing a vertical garden. Let me know what you think. If you need more information on how I built it, let me know. So you probably noticed that I always have garlic and onions in all my dishes, mainly because I love the flavor of garlic and onions in every dish. So I'm going to always put them in if I can. Fresh garlic and onions. You just can't beat that flavor. So again, you know, one of the things I'm trying to do with this channel is just show a lot of people who are home cooks how easy it is to just kind of whip something together. You know, have a vision for what you're trying to do and figure out how to get there. You know, do the best what you have. You don't need to do anything crazy or buy a bunch of expensive ingredients. Just because you buy expensive ingredients doesn't make the food any better. Sometimes the best food is the simplest. I mean, I have literally enjoyed having top ramen and a slice of American cheese, and that works for me. So for this, I'm just going to julienne these. Nice and thin. Turn it over. Just want this to be a part of the dish. I don't want it to disappear. Alright. I'm going to take this little green part off. I'm not going to get rid of it. Just throw it in there. Just going to mince it up. Take your time. You don't have to rush this part. Get used to enjoying chopping. Alright, so we have our buttermilk chicken. It's been marinating all night. To make our dredge is going to be very simple. We're going to take 2 cups of bread flour. Now, bread flour has extra gluten in it, which is going to make, honestly, I think, a better crust for our chicken. And so, actually, I might go 3. I want a really good amount of flour. Now, you notice I'm using like a huge bowl. This is like, I think, almost a 1 to 2 gallon capacity bowl in here. And it's because I want a lot of space to be able to shake off things. I don't want to make a giant mess because my wife hates when I make a mess. So, trying to, happy wife, happy life. So we're going to do about a tablespoon of baking powder. Now, super important, we use baking powder. Don't use baking soda because that's going to help with the crunchiness. And then we're going to use some seasoning. Now, as you notice, I like to use like spice blends. So this is the from Big Cock Ranch in Canby. Really awesome little place. Love this. Has cayenne, ancho, chili, pepper, chili powder, garlic, paprika, sugar, onion, and calcium citrate, which is in other words, a preservative. So we're going to do probably about 2 tablespoons of this because we want flavor. And you know what they say, if you ain't sneezing, you ain't seasoning. So what I'm going to do, take my spoon, just mix it in. Now, super important, we're going to taste for salt because I think when it comes to a lot of this stuff, if there's not enough salt, it just isn't going to work. And there is already seasoning, same seasoning blend in the buttermilk, but I want to make sure that the dredge has seasoning, because if you ever had fried chicken and the breading is just like blah, it just ruins the chicken. So I'm going to taste it. Yeah. So you definitely need more salt. So we're going to get Old Purple salty here. Put another, say, a teaspoon or half tablespoon into this. Give it a taste. Salty, not too crazy salty, but just enough to like give it some flavor. All right, now the cool part about this is the baking powder is going to make that like really nice crispy crust. So we're going to do a dip, and one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of this buttermilk and throw it in there, because what it's just going to do is create those little crispy, crunchy bits. I learned this on TV, and it works amazing. So you see those like little crunchy bit or little like almost clumps? We want that. And usually if you do this a few times, you're going to have, after like the 4th or 5th chicken, you'll have a bunch of these clumps already. But I want to have some of the first chicken. You notice I'm not doing a lot of shaking off of things. Oh yeah. And get every nook and cranny. Super important. See how like shaggy it is? All right. Now leave a little extra flour on this and put this on a rack, because we're gonna let this sit for about 10 minutes. And what's gonna happen is the moisture that's in the chicken from the buttermilk and the chicken itself is going to kind of make a batter seal around it. And that's going to help seal the chicken and keep it juicy while it fries. And we're using just chicken thighs with skin on because we love skin. So we'll probably just do 4. And we'll leave the rest for tomorrow. We'll do another batch of chicken for the kids when they come home tomorrow. Now we have extra marinated chicken. You can tell that's going to be good. I might have to make more than 4. I'm not going to lie. That was making me hungry. Check both sides. See, look at that. Trying to get away from me. Everything gets sealed in this batter. You know what? I'm getting adventurous. We're going to do 5. I'm not worried about the whole claws. Whole claws help get that dredge. And this is home cooking. This ain't no restaurant. That's what we're looking for. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to save this, put it in the fridge, and it's going to be good for another 24 hours. So get all this whole claws out, put it in a container, and be good to go. So we're going for about 350 degrees. We're just about there. Yeah, we're perfect. So we're going to turn this down a little bit because we still got a few more minutes. So we got our water boiling for our pasta. We're going to throw that in. So today we're going to be using some Campanelli. Look at that. Love it. About 2 cups or half a box. And of course, anytime you add in some pasta, you give it a stir for the first like 10 seconds. Be careful when you're boiling things next to oil too. You hear that little popping? Don't want that in there. So I'm going to let that cook for about 10 minutes. All right, so when we're frying things, you need to make sure one thing. A, control the heat. Super important. Keep it at a medium to medium high heat because it doesn't take much to get this oil hot. Second, you need cold oil ready to go. We're using peanut oil, if you didn't know. But cold oil, because that can actually lower the temperature faster than turning it off. So want to make sure that safety-wise, have some peanut oil. Thermometer, because we're going to need that to check our chicken to make sure it's done. I don't imagine that they're going to be finished. So one thing I'm going to do is put our oven to 375. Now, if you do 350, I'll just turn it to baked chicken. But 375 is going to make sure that it stays crispy and you're good to go. So preheat your oven at this time, and I think we're almost ready to start frying. All right, so it's time to do our chicken. As you see, we're going to use some metal tongs. Don't use plastic tongs. Metal. We're just going to go in, grab onto it, and throw it in. Oh yeah. I'm going to do one more. So what I'm going to do is, for the next 60 seconds, I'm going to turn up the oil to match that temperature. But this is going to be super easy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a quick stir to prevent it from sticking to the bottom. Oh yeah. We're frying here. All right, check back in about a couple minutes. Oh yeah. Pasta's rolling, chicken's frying. It's a good day. So you see it's been about a minute, and you can see the temperature of the oil is going down. 304, 311, 315. Talking about when the oil drops. So we turn the heat up, get it back up to 350, and let it keep going. All right, so it's time to pour out the pasta, but one thing I'm gonna do is conserve some of that liquid. This is liquid gold right there. It's made its own like kind of pasta stock. And you know what? I'm trying to save some dishes today. So yeah, super excited. So for our pasta dish, we're gonna use some spinach, garlic, onions, asparagus. We're gonna use some leftover Alfredo sauce. And then we're also gonna use some cream cheese that I gotta use up. So there's some whipped cream cheese. Let's get to cooking. So we're gonna do medium-high heat. Same pan we did the pasta with. I'm just gonna get that oil in there. There we go. Now I'm gonna start with the harder stuff, which is going to be our asparagus and spinach stems and our onions in first. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of make this a little bit more Cajun-y. So see if I got any good Cajun seasoning in where is it? Oh, here we go. We got some Tonés for our seasoning. And again, I'm keeping it simple. I don't want to have to go through a bunch of different spice jars. I hate when I do that. You know what? I got a tool for this. Where them dang scissors at? Oh goodness, it's spelling. Just enough, about 3/4 full. Give it a quick shake. Get everything in there. We'll get there soon. But we're going to put this in the oven in a minute to get this all the way up to 175. And one thing I think this really needs is going to be some cracked black pepper. So we're going to add in some pepper into the mix. That's nice and happy. I'm going to turn the heat off. That pasta. We're going to put it in there for about, I would say, 8 minutes. It's been about 8 minutes. So these are ready to go. Let's make a plate for the wifey. I'll let you hear that. Look at that. Honestly, can't do any better than that. So give it a thumbs up if you like it, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.